Hi, this is Dunn, and this is just another off-the-cuff, somewhat unscripted. I have some ideas for this video, but somewhat unscripted talk about something specific that has been on my mind ever since the update came out. Now, I do want to say I'm really happy with the update. At a high level, I think they introduced a whole bunch of systems into the game with varying levels of success, but the ambition here is very high. There's a lot of things that they are adding, and I'm having a great time with the game. There are some details. Excuse me, look out, bunnies. There are some details that need to be worked out. Not everything has landed as effectively as other things. There's no way to make everybody happy. And I feel for that. And on top of that, this was an update that already had a lot coming into it. And then, they added the Cougar to it, which is a massive new mechanic. And, a 2.0 version of a mechanic that they had tried once before. I want to be positive. Positive energy. I'm happy. I'm happy with the update. I'm having a great time with the game. When the update video came out, though, there was a particular line in the video that stuck with me. And it's this one.
Every item contains in its definition the rules of where it can be placed and how it can be manipulated. Every item is assigned valid placement locations to enable creativity but avoid silliness wherever possible.
And I took that personally. Because I like to be silly. I'm a player. I've got thousands of hours into this game at this point. I'm a player that enjoys the game. It is an escape for me. I enjoy the challenge. I enjoy the immersion. But there are also times when I enjoy just being silly and having a good time in it. Whoops. And laughing. Laughing is so healing. It's great to laugh. And there's a distinction here. I think a lot about the difference between a movie like Young Frankenstein or Galaxy Quest. Those are movies that love the source material they are parodying. Parodying? Yes. That's me with The Long Dark. When I'm laughing at the game, I'm not. I'm laughing with the game. I'm mostly laughing at me. I don't want the game to be silly, but I don't want the game to tell me that I can't be silly. And so it made me think a lot about silly over the past week and how I feel about it. And, I'm a big believer in not telling anybody how to enjoy the thing that they are enjoying, or that what they're enjoying is wrong. So however you play The Long Dark is okay with me. Whatever difficulty level you play at, whatever you try to do in it, and, if you want to take it very, very seriously, and this is a simulation, I respect that. My father is a huge fan of the game Truck Simulator, American Truck Simulator. It is very important to him, and he plays a lot of it. And he doesn't call it a game. He calls it a simulation. And he doesn't play it. He operates the simulation. And he's got the wheel and the pedal and everything. Good for him. If that's making him happy. He was a bus driver most of his life. So I think he, gets some memories and nostalgia out of just doing those muscle memory actions again. That's great. For me, while I get so much enjoyment and escape out of the game, and the game really has helped me through some very hard times in my life, sometimes I just want to laugh. So I thought I'd run through some of the things that are silly that I like to do in the game, just because that's what I want to do. So here are some silly things I like to do in The Long Dark. One thing I like to do in Long Dark is just test things, test silly little ideas, like if you line up a bunch of different items and shoot at them, do they go flying? There's no practical reason to know the answer to this question, but learning the answer makes me very happy. Turns out you can shoot spray paint and you can shoot cans. I haven't found anything else that you can shoot that will go flying, but I haven't tested everything, so you never know. I had to go, there'll be an edit here while I go get a can, and then, who flies farther? Amazingly, the tin can flies much farther than the spray paint. That's fascinating. It's fascinating that they worked on that and made that happen. And yet, if you're not being silly, you're never going to discover this information because there's no practical reason to know it other than maybe practicing marksmanship. But this is fun, and I just really enjoyed doing this test. This is a recreation of a test I did on Twitch where I wanted to know, could you jump from the top of the barn in Pleasant Valley to the back of the pickup truck? Could you get up there? The answer, yes, you can jump to the back of the pickup truck. Can you put your bedroll down? No, you can't. But, yeah, I don't know why you'd want to. I don't know why you would want to jump to the back of the pickup truck, but you can. Then I wondered, well, can you jump to the fire barrel? And as it turns out, you can jump to the fire barrel and land on it. Why would you want to? Why wouldn't you want to? It's more the way my brain works. And maybe it's because I have a writer brain, but like writing is all about asking, what if, what if? Okay, well, what if you jumped to the fire barrel and then lit a fire? Would it burn you? No, it won't. What if the fire was already burning and then you jumped to it? Will it burn you? No, it won't. Asking those types of questions and then getting the answers, whatever the answers are, just really brings a lot of enjoyment to me. I'm always impressed by what they thought of, and I'm always impressed by how I can maybe a little bit break the rules. Another way I'm often silly in the long dark is by interacting with objects in ways that perhaps they were not intended to be interacted with. In this case, these clips, I am really kind of bored during episode 3, and so I started amusing myself by realizing that you can drag the survivors, they're not corpses, they're survivors, across the ground and manipulating them, and then I realized you could drop them on things, which I really enjoyed right here. Putting this poor Wade on a car. Wade became a whole meme on my channel.
Yes! He jumped out right in front of me, officer.
And once I realized that, well, then can we drop him off things, and is he okay even when you drop him from great heights? He is. We later would set up little targets on the ground to see if we could hit the targets accurately from the bridges, and obviously none of this is the way that this was intended, and I think when they were worried about people messing with corpses, this might be what they were worried about. But I had a lot of fun with it, and the people who were watching it had a lot of fun too. Probably my original silly thing to do in the long dark, and still one of my favorites though, is just climbing on stuff. My first experience with climbing on stuff was with cars, and I realized that you could kind of approach cars from the back bumper or the front bumper and just kind of wiggle yourself around a bit, and then you usually can get on top. Some cars are easier than others, and then once you're up there, it's a decent spot to hunt from. I haven't proven out whether nothing can get to you here. I haven't had a wolf get to me on this specific car, but it is a lot of fun. And once I started climbing on cars, and of course also lighting fires on cars, I started to wonder, what else can I climb on top of? And that led me to the boxcars in Forlorn Muskeg, which I absolutely love coming up here. Great spot to hunt bears from, and just a really cool place to hang out from. And you feel like you're breaking the rules. Like in this case, I think they pretty much set you up to be able to do it, but it's a great spot. And in a similar vein is the helicopter in Forsaken Airfield, which is another great spot that you can sneak yourself up on top of. There isn't as much to hunt from up here, but I still, really enjoyed the challenge of trying to figure out how to get up here. I was able to get back to the tail rotor at one time. I wasn't able to do it in the test. So I'm not sure whether something changed there. I just couldn't figure it out. And of course, once you're on the thing, can I put a fire on it? That's, of course, the thing that I want to know the most. So once you get the fire going on there, it looks great. I love doing things that feel like you're not supposed to do them. So I guess on some level, maybe it is a bit about the deviance of it, I guess. This is another one that I really enjoy. This is the fire tower in Mystery Lake, although I'm pretty sure this works with any fire tower, especially if you use base customization to give yourself the right props. But even if you don't, although I do it here, I've done it without base customization. You can get up on this desk, and then once you get on the desk, you can stick your head out into the world. And I believe you are unaffected by the weather that is out there, but you are really out there. I don't know if this would help you with cabin fever, but, I've shot flare guns and stuff out here. If you take, I'm going to do a flare right here and throw it out and watch. It's going to pop right outside the window there. Are we outside? we really are outside. It's just silly and completely useless. And I love it. It just makes me happy to be able to do that. And so that's it. That's, it's not a top 10 list. It's just silly things that I like to do that make me laugh. And to be honest, that is the thing that I do the most in this game, is laugh. And if I wasn't laughing, I don't think I would play it. Even when I die, for the most part, you can go back and look at my videos. I die all the time. I'm usually laughing. And what I am usually laughing at is me. Because usually it's me getting myself into my own ridiculous predicaments. But I love the fact that the game can be a tool to just be silly, and be silly in a creative way that celebrates what an incredibly flexible tool this is. So I love The Long Dark, and I love the people who make The Long Dark. So this is not, this is not me going at anybody. But please, let me be silly if I want to be silly, because I'm going to find ways to be silly anyway. So you're not going to stop me. That's really it for this one. If you've been silly in The Long Dark, tell me what kind of silly things you like to do. And if you've enjoyed this video and you want to give me the like, the comment, the subscribe, I do upload new Long Dark Interloper content every single day. Is it good? Sometimes. Is it silly? Sometimes. Am I laughing? Every time. So if that's the kind of energy you're looking for, you can find more of that right here. And that is going to do it for me for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe. Take care of each other. And I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.